The best item in each industry, by my opinion, 2023 first half. Okay, going to the encyclopedia. Usually, I would give you something about profit calculations. Today, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you what you should be doing and what size you are. So, for agriculture, that's usually you start off in agriculture. Cows and pigs are used for usually certificates, getting like most produced and stuff like that. Oranges, apples, and grapes, they're great to like make them and do grapes and retail them in grocery stores. But I wouldn't say anything is that good in really agriculture. I would mostly stay out of it if you would like to. Food, it's really your choice. I wouldn't recommend doing steak and sausages, because what can happen, also milk and eggs, those few are really like, there's not that much profit I can see there. Milk, obviously, you can get a good profit, but you can definitely make more in like lasagna, meatballs, and cocktails, and hamburger salads, samosas, and stuff that. What happened there? Okay, it's a glitch. Items that can be retailed in. Obviously, they can be retailed, but they're just dominated by players. Yeah, so units an hour, it outweighs the restaurant what they need. Construction is probably, in my opinion, one of the best industries. I was in it for like a month and a half, and I had a lot of fun making planks. And one of the great part about construction is the industry is very fragile. Okay, so it makes it so you have to learn how to like adapt to what is happening in the game. For example, like during recession, the plank price would drop very low because people would stop building in recession because they would make less money. Also, construction price was $2,300 now, right? But in that 3-week boom, at the end of it, it was $2,600. So when people make a lot of money, they tend to like to upgrade their buildings or buy construction materials. Well, yeah, upgrade their buildings. And that also can help. Another thing is, if you want to choose something more stable, choose either construction units. Construction units, they won't be. See, it's good profit. Construction units, they won't be retailed. Also, reinforced concrete. Reinforced concrete, I don't know how anyone makes this profit. I think it's usually negative, right? Yeah, it's negative money usually. Okay. But yeah, reinforced concrete construction units, they're never really profitable. Like they're not really profitable. They're never retailed in like stores, as planks can be retailed in a hardware store. See, like tools, windows, planks. Okay. You could go for the thing where you do. Vertically integrated, which means like making your own stuff for different types of items. So like, let's say you have construction units, you can make the steel beams, the tools, and the windows, and then buy diesel and bulldozers. So that's another thing you can do for construction units. What I think, okay, that's my guide for construction. Fashion, one of the worst industries ever, but there is one amazing part of fashion, right? Okay, fashion research. I'll get into this more with fashion, but it is literally it's the highest. I wouldn't say it's the highest in demand research, but is someone who is doing Q6, as someone who did Q3 to Q5. It took me like 30 minutes to message all this. No, it took me like 15 minutes. No, not even, like 10 minutes to message all of the producers of fashion research. And I was using Simco tools. So everyone who had a fashion research building, who had more than 7 fashion research buildings, which is a lot of fashion research buildings, which pretty much means they're a fashion research company. It took me I think there was 25 of them. So really, it's not that big of an industry. The profit's great, and people will buy 140,000 units or more at a single time. That is another great industry. Yeah. So if you were to make any fashion items, I would say make luxury watches if you're going to be in the game for a really long time. I know it says negative profit, but luxury watches, if you can do it quick enough and you can get the quality up high enough, you can get the NFT, like, not NFT, collectible. I know they're removing the NFT thing. Collectible. And you can sell that for a lot more than any of the other ones. Maybe you can sell the other ones for, I've never seen them sold for a lot of money. But yeah, that's a great NFT because I think Q6 NFT is available for luxury watch, one left. So one I would do for okay, that was my fashion thing. Energy, what I recommend doing is crude oil or rocket fuel or methane. Those are supported by like Aerospace. Crude oil is always a great idea. It's always, it's always a good industry to choose. Oh wow, the sourcing cost is high. Yeah, but that's just because of my setup. So crude oil is always a good setup. For example, if you have 95% abundance, you chose, right? It's gonna be. It's not gonna calculate again. Whatever. Wait, does it? No. Okay. Yeah. So let's say you have 95 abundance. Okay, good admin, mid admin. You're gonna make still good money in crude oil, but I'm not saying this is like the best industry ever. It is a very important industry, and I'll explain why, because it's supporting pretty much all of aerospace. And it's very hard to get into the crude oil business, methane business, because of prospecting. So prospecting takes a lot of time. So it's pretty much like a walled off industry unless you have a bunch of sim boosts, or you'll have to spend like a week of your time switching into the industry. So people tend to not like it. I know I don't, but some people love it. It's just not one of my favorite industries. High-grade e-comps is great because people will literally buy unlimited, and the profit per hour can range from between 200 to like 400 to 500. And look, it's used in literally a lot, almost all. It's used in every single aerospace item except for quadcopters, I think. I don't know why this is an aerospace item, seriously. Okay. So it's so important. Like every rocket engine needs 8 of these, and a starship needs 7 rocket engines. So think about it. 8 times 7 is 56, right? You need 1 starship for a BFR. So that's already 56 high-grade comps, right? Okay, this is going to take me forever, but there's already 56 high-grade comps. You also need cockpits, which is another 4. So you got 60 high-grade comps. Then you also need cockpits. Then orbital boosters, 34 rocket engines. 34. Propellant tanks. No, they don't. Okay. But propellant tanks, they use 34. So it's over 200 high-grade comps just to build 1 BFR. So if you're making let's say you're making BFRs, right? You're usually going to have 1 aerospace factory and then a vertically integration faculty and then a bunch of propulsion factories to build all of these, because you only make one, like a third an hour, and a starship needs 7, and you can make a third an hour. So you want to have like a 7-to-1 ratio just to make the starship. So yeah, this can be an insanely, sourcing cost. If you were just to do off the market, it would be $150K. But if you were to make your own rocket engines, so let's say 7,000, it will lower the cost a lot, obviously. 9,000, right? So let's say, yeah, that's literally 1,000. That's a $7,000 difference just for making your rocket engines, and that's going to boost your profit so much. Also, orbital boosters. These use 34 rocket engines. It's insane. So yeah, high-grade comps are insane because they're just used so much. And people are always going to need high-grade comps, because aerospace is one of the biggest. I think it's the biggest. It's like almost up there with food. Food is just kind of like, it's mysterious, okay? It's not like it's not a starting. You can obviously do restaurants from like 2 million CV. I've done it like a bunch of times. I've done it twice, but I've succeeded once, and but I just didn't end up switching into it because to succeed you have to risk a lot of money, and when you have like only $1 million cash, you can't really risk $200,000 a day. So That's why I don't really think aerospace is pretty chill. Like, it's just aerospace. What I found is souped up cars. Okay, you'll see what I mean. Cars, you do mostly just contracts. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Okay. Automotive, best item in automotive industry. It really depends on what you want to do. So if you want to go into aerospace, you could do basic interior. If you want to make single engine planes, you could do combustion engine. I don't know if you want to do that, but you could also make electric, onboard computers. That is another great way to make money. The thing is, cars is actually very good industry for retailing. Retailing, you can make so much money because it's pretty much a dead industry, and it takes a lot of time to make the cars, so it's very big. So like retailing, you make okay. If you're vertically integrated, right, you're gonna make how much is the wage? Okay. You make 500 a unit, I think, right? Yeah, you'll make 500 a unit. Yeah, it's a really good industry if you want to if you want to get into cars. Cars is actually pretty good. I've done it before. You can watch my videos on cars. I think I have like 3 of them. Yeah, they're pretty good. Okay, aerospace. This is going to take a long time. Okay. It really depends on what you're looking for. So, ion drives are good, obviously, but like most aerospace profit is in end products. The thing is, to make the end products, you need so many of the supporting products. So, for example, rocket engines, you need like 40 of them just to make one BFR. But saying like one BFR could make you $500 an hour, right? But it could be that if you just do a full map of BFRs, you're not going to make any money. So you have to be vertically integrated. A great thing about being vertically integrated is with high prices comes like when you sell stuff on market, it actually adds profit a lot. So for example, ion drives, if you were to make them, right, it costs $10,000, but wait, what? Okay, that's really bad. Okay. Yeah, but usually the market price is like $12,000 for ion drives or something like that. I don't really remember. You can put it down in the comments. But you can make it for your satellites, and you can save, right? Like $400 a satellite. So price is high, obviously. Play computer, right? Let's say you make it your own. 4,000. Okay. The margins are not high on these. Okay, this is a bad one. Okay. You saw earlier with the rocket ship thing. Okay? But what about the fuselage, right? Making 14 of these, it's gonna... Okay, this sucks. Oh my god. Okay. Whatever, you understand that making your own vertically integrated aerospace works. Like if you search up here, Geek Leak, right? Geek Leak, he makes his own fuselages, and look, he's a pretty successful company. I mean, he has a certificate for luxury jets, and his top day gross was $6.6 million. He's pretty much no patent value. So it's a good industry. You're gonna make a lot of money. You just need to have it's gonna take a lot of time unless you sell to resellers. Selling to resellers is what people do when they're making too many items, or when they have to sell when they don't want to spend all their time spamming an aerospace chat. Resources. Oh no. Okay. Carbon fibers. I'm sorry, but carbon fibers. It usually depends on the time, but I would usually recommend carbon fibers. Carbon fibers or carbon composites, because again, this supports aerospace. So yeah, you heard a bunch of me say a bunch of stuff about carbon fibers and carbon composites probably already. I actually did a guide for carbon fibers. Research. Best research. Okay. There's really 2 perks of there's more than this, but there's perks of every industry. But one of the most important perks is getting good contacts. So, for example, you're not going to find a lot of the top companies are going to be in automotive industry. So, even though the profit per hour per level might be good, right, 177, you might want to go and do recipes, or you might want to do electronics research, one of the other ones, or aerospace research even. but I don't really know about aerospace research. I've never done it. But if you want to do recipes, you're gonna get good contacts, like good relations with all of the people who produce this stuff. So if you're the top recipe producer and you're making like 70,000, which is an insane amount a day. What if you're making 10,000 a day, right? You're making 300,000 recipes. That's a lot of recipes. You're gonna have good contacts because you're literally letting every single person increase their quality. That is my whole guide to best item in some companies to produce. Retailing, I don't think I'm gonna come out with one. That's just too hard to calculate. Maybe if this video gets to 10 likes, I'll do that. Okay? Thank you for watching. Have a great night.